Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and very well done if you correctly entered 3 times a Sudoku, the competition we had running until today on Patreon. Some quite tough puzzles there, but hundreds of correct entries. Brilliant effort, as always, by our Patreons, who are frankly some of the cleverest people you can find, because there are Patreons, if nothing else. But that's... there will be a solution video up on the Patreon at some point very soon. There will also, of course, be for some time Simon's Solve of Fistmafel's April Fool up there as well. We've also got all our apps. They are on the links under the video, along with Sven's SUDOKU PAD, a catalogue of all our videos, thousands of them now, and everything to do with the channel, the Discord server, etc., etc. Do check it all out on the links. We love people engaging with us. It makes us very happy. And this puzzle is the first link. This is called X-Digit Sums by Christian Scherer, who it's a debut for Christian on the channel. He sent us this puzzle, and very interesting looking it is too. Now, if you've seen us do X sums, which is a genre I like a lot, then you won't have a lot of trouble understanding this, but watch out. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. A number outside the grid indicates the digit sum of the first X digits, where X is the first digit from that direction. So, look, I'm going to fill in a random set of digits. No, that's not a good idea. Let's do it with a 4 to start with. So that could be a way a column is filled. Now, if you had a clue at the top of this, it would be adding the first 4 digits, because 4 is the first number. So because 4 is the first number, it would add the first 4 digits, which include that 4. They add up to 17. And then the digit sum of 17 is 8, because you add the 1 and the 7 to get 8. That's what a digit is. That's what we're using digit sum to mean. So the example in the rule set is that an 11 clue, and we have a few of those in the puzzle, indicates either a sum of 29 or 38 for the first X digits, because the digit sum of 29 and 38 are 11, and I guess there's no other way under the magic number of 45 of making up the digit sum 11, so it would have to be 29 or 38 for an 11 clue. There are other possibilities, I imagine, for these other 1s, 2s, 11s, 12s. Now, there are 2 cages, and in cages, digits must sum to a total whose digit sum is either 1, 2, 11, or 12. So there's always one removed from the sum. So if these had one of these classic killer clues in their top left corner, that number would have a digit sum of 1, 2, 11, or 12, which are the 4 types of clue around the perimeter. So that's interesting. I've certainly never seen digit sums used in a puzzle before. I do like X sums, so I hope this version works as interestingly. Going to give it a go now. You can try it on the link under the video, but let's get cracking. And I don't know. I think we're going to have to think first. We've been given this hint that an 11 clue either indicates 29 or 38. So I'm just randomly, in this row that starts with an 11, I'm writing in the numbers 29 and 38. A 2 clue. Now that's going to mean that the digits of the X sum number sum to 2. Well, they have to be 20 or 11 then, surely. That's the 2 numbers you could get. Now I'm leaving out the single number 2 because that is not a possible X sums clue. If you think about that in an ordinary X sums, you couldn't add the first 1 digit because it would only add up to 1. If you put in a 2, you'd have to add the second digit. So you'd get to a total of more than 2. So 2 is not a valid X sums clue. So it's not one of the possible digit sums given by a 2. Now in a 1 clue, on the other hand, you could have a single 1 I mean, you obviously would. If 1 was the first digit in a row or column, that its digit sum would be 1, and its x sum would be 1, and that x digit sum would be 1. But it could also be 10. I suppose that's all it can be, is 10 or 1. And what about 12? A 12 row. Oh, I suppose it's got to be 2 cells, obviously. It must be either 39, sorry, I'm trying to type 39, or 48. No, it can't be 48, that's more than 45. Yeah, okay. So actually, these are the only numbers that can be the x sum numbers. 1 and 10 if it's a 1, 11 and 20 if it's a 2, 29 and 38 as the example says if it's an 11, or exactly 39 if it's a 12. Right, the 12s are the place to start. How many digits is a 39 sum going to cover? It's got to be at least 6. The key way to look at this is that taking the magic number of 45, which is the sum of every row, column and box in a Sudoku, because 1 to 9 add up to 45. That's a secret, don't tell everyone. 39 is the sum of every 12 clue. So 45 minus 39 leaves 6. That's the point. That's the outies at the end of the column or row. Now that could be 1 cell, in which case this would be adding 8 cells. It could be 2 cells making 6, in which case this would be 7. Or it could be 3 cells. If they were 3, 2, 1, this would be a 6 at the beginning. So all these 12 clues begin with 6, 7 or 8. Now can we do the same sort of thing with the 11s? They are 29 or 38. 29 is... Can you get to 29 in 4 cells? No, you can't, because 4 and then the maximum 987 only adds up to 28. So it must always be 5 cells at least, and it can never be 9, because any 9 cells in a row or column add up to 45. So these 11s are 5, 6, 7 or 8. Now the ones are either adding to 1 or 10, so that could be 1 cell. It could be 2 cells if you had 2 and then 8, that would add to 10. It could be 3 cells easily, there's a couple of ways, or it could be 4 cells, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's where the Sudoku is going to start coming into it. So I'm going to start entering 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Now I have to think about the 2s again. These could be 20 or 11. So that could be as few as 2 cells, or as many as, can it be 5? Can't be 6 because their minimum sum is 21. Let's say 5. So the 2s begin 2, 3, 4 or 5. So these are just the opening numbers. But this one can't be a 4. Anywhere where a 1 began with a 4, the first 4 digits would have to be 4, 3, 2 and 1 in some order. That's not possible in row 1 or column 1 because of these. It's actually not possible in column 2 because if you put 4, 3, 2, 1 in there, what are you putting there? There's nothing. So those can't be 4s. This one looking up can't be a 4. That could be... Oh, well, it could be looking right, but we've already eliminated it looking up. That one can't be a 4 because if you put 1, 2, 3, 4 there, you couldn't fill that, so that's not a 4. This one, I suppose, could be a 4. I can't see a reason why not yet, but has that eliminated us down to anything? No, not really. Oh. Now, what goes in the bottom? See, that's not likely to be a 5. If that was a 5, the total couldn't be 11 anymore, because 5 cells always add up to more than 11. The total would have to be 20. That is possible. Oh, what about the outies, though? What about, yes, this can't be an 8 now, because that's not, if that was an 8, those would add up to 39, and that would have to be a 6. Yes, the outies have to add to 6, so that's not an 8. If it was a 7, those two add to 6. If it was a 6, those 3 do. I think those are both possible. This one can't be, it could be an 8. Oh, this cell's interesting. This can never be a 9 because of this. Because the outies of this column, the last digits add up to 6, so they can't have a 9 in. So this is not a 9. Now that's significant because there's nowhere else to put a 9 in this row. So I'm going to put a 9 there. This in fact has to be some number between 1 and 6. That's nearly given me a sextuple in the row, but annoyingly not quite, which is unsurprising. Now, this can't be a 2, of course. If this was a 2, that would be saying that the first 2 cells add to 10, and since neither of those can be 8, that's ridiculous. This one could be. This one can't be for the same reason. Oh, so we get a 1-3 pair in the column. So we can take 3 out of there. Now, this could be a 2 if that's a 9. Otherwise, if this is a 4 or 5, we're adding to 20. Yeah, interestingly, neither 4 nor 5 can add in an 11 sum, because 4 wouldn't appear in a 4-cell 11 sum. It would be 1, 2, 3, 5. And 5's too many for a 5-cell 11 sum. So, I don't know, I thought that 1-3 was going to be powerful or something, but it didn't really do much. If I could eliminate 5, oh look, 9 in the first column has to be in one of those two. Hadn't seen that. So 9 in that column is in one of those, and it would fit very nicely here with a 2-9 clue. Although, would it? Oh, well, this can't be a 3 anymore, because this 1 clue has a total of 10 at the most. And if you were adding 3 cells, you'd hit a 9. So that's not a 3. If it's a 2, that has to be an 8 to make the 10 sum. This would be a 4 or a 5. That's fine. This would then be a 9 by Sudoku. Oh, this is a crazy puzzle. It's mixing Sudoku and the new rule in very odd ways. Ah, now I'd forgotten. I was going to look at this. Oh, and this row might work both ways. Yes, this, I've written 5, 6, 7, 8 in there. Is that for the 11? Yes, this adds up to 29 or 38. Ah, well, it can't add up to 38 because the end of the column would have to add up to 7, and we seem to have ruled that out here. So this must add up to 29. Then there are some outies adding up to 16. Well, that must be all of these, 9 and a 1, 2, 4. I think that's got to be. And I can fill them all in. Ooh, revelation time. 1, 2, 4. And I said this was, well, that's 29 in 5 cells then, because that must be 5. Let's just, well, that has to be a 3, and that's a 6. These are 7 and 8. My goodness, that's progress, isn't it? So let's just check the maths here. 5, 6, 7, 8 add up to 26, plus 3 is 29, which has a digit sum of 11. This 1 is fine. That's made this a 3, which is a bit unexpected up there. Now these have to add to 10. Well, they have to be 3, 2, 5. The 2 makes this a 9. It also makes this a 1, which is fine for the down clue. Actually, that 2 made it a 1 as well. This has to be a 6 to make 3 work across. And we are now suddenly cooking with gas. I've got loads of digits in the grid from a position a moment ago where I had almost possibly actually none. Right, that's really interesting. So that worked really well looking at this row which had clues at both ends. Now this has clues at both ends, but they're much smaller numbers. So this can't be a 2 anymore. It can always be a 1. 1 is so self-referential, it's very, very egotistical in this puzzle. If that was a 3, they would add up to 7. And they would be 1 and 6. If that's a 4, this can't be a 4 anymore because of that 2. That can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is either in this cell or in one of these. So 1 is definitely amongst those. Now this one's done, isn't it? Because the outies are 6. So that lot adds up to 39. So that's an 8. Yeah, okay, let's tick off the ones. That clue's effectively solved. This one I haven't looked at at all. That one's solved. This one is solved both across and down. That one is solved. That one not at all. Haven't really considered that. So both of these 11s need to be thought about. This 12, no. This 12, no. I keep planning to think about that and not doing it. This 1 obviously works in both directions. This one, no, but it's very well worth doing and I can do it immediately. 2 plus 8 equals 10, whose digit sum is 1. This one, right, I now know that's 4 plus 1, 2, 3. That is the, oh no, that might also turn out to be a 4. These ones, no, but let's just think about this. One of them is an 8, and that means its last digit, outie, is either 6 for the 12 clue, which it can't be, so that's a 7. So let's hope this works. It can't be 29 for those 8 cells. It must be 38 with a 7 at the top. So that does work, and I've done that clue. In this, I've done that one. Once I accept that 1, 2, 3. In this one, those add up to 39. So these two add up to 6. They are either 2, 4 or 1, 5 in one of those orders. I'm not going to mark that as done because I haven't figured it out. Now this one, these 3 add up to either 11 or 20. If it's 20, that's a 9 and that's an 8. If it's 11, these 2 add up to 8, and they can't be 3, 5 or 6, 2. They'd be 1, 7 in some order. Now this is what I've, oh no, hang on, I've done the across here, so that's done. This is the one I've been working round to and planning to look at for ages and not doing so. And also this, actually. Right, let's look at this. This can't be 5 or 3 in the box anymore. It's 2 or 4. Now, if it's 2, we know we get a 9 there, and that is possible. If it's 4, then these add up to 20. There's ways of doing that. Let's look at this. This has outies of 6. And they can't be 1, 2, 3, so it's not 6 anymore. Oh, it's very clear if I would just look at it. So that's a 7. This is a 2, 4 pair. And that 7 is solved. This now can't be a 7. I think that means this can't be a 1. 2, 4 pair means that's not a 2. Now, if this can't be a 2 anymore because 2 and 4 is wrong for this. Yes, looking at these ones that work in concert with each other is very much the most helpful way to go. 4 and 2. So these 4 cells are going to add to 20 because they can't add to 11. That's 6. So these 2 add to 14. They must be 9 and 5. Now once we get a 9 there, this becomes an 8, and we've done this clue at the bottom. We've done that clue. We've done all the clues around the bottom. Great. We've got 3 or 6 there. 1, 3 or 6 there. This is a 1, 7 pair. Can't really resolve them yet. Wow, that can't be 8. This can't be 7 now. Now, can this be an 8? That puts, this is another 39 row. So we get either a 6 there, or if it's a 6, we get 1, 2, 3 there. That won't work for this beautiful reason. It would force that to be a 4, but that needs more of 1, 2, 3 next to it. So that 6 is not a 6, that's an 8. That means this is a 6. Those 8 add to 39, so that is the single outie, which is a 6. Oh, this is an intricate puzzle, isn't it? It's really interesting. 4 or 6 there by Sudoku. Those are from 4, 6, 9. Oh, look, Sudoku, 8, 8. That's got to be an 8. Now, this, I didn't work out that that couldn't be 4, 3, 2, 1. I just worked out it couldn't be if that was a 6. Oh, 4, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. That's a 5 or a 9. In fact, there's a 9 here somewhere. Oh, 6 is looking at that cell. Yeah, that's done. Right. So those aren't 1. That's a 2, 3 pair. This group is a 2, 3, 9 triple. This is a 4, 5, 6 triple. Now, these 11s I haven't really studied. Now, this one's going to be profitable. Yes. This group of cells adds up to either 29 or 38, leaving either 7 or 16 for that total. Well, it's obviously 16, and that's a 4. So that clue's done. And that 4 is very helpful because we can place it in box 1. That becomes a 1, 2, 5 triple. The 4 also sorts out the 4, 6, 5 group there. We don't need the pencil mark anymore. The corner mark. 3, 6, 7 here now. Do we need to think about this cage yet? I don't. There's so many possible totals. I'm putting that off as long as I can, and I'm going to keep doing that for now. Right, 4, 1, 2, 3. That can't be 9. Oh no, we did that clue. We've still got this clue to do. So the first 5 cells now add up to 29 or 38. It can't be 38. That's too many for those 5 cells. So it's 29. We've already got 9. These 3 add up to 20. They've got to have a 9 in because they can't be 8, 7, 5. So there's a 9 in one of those 2. That means that's not a 9. I'm actually just going to keep using that round in case it brings something back more simply than doing the maths. Okay, that probably petered out there. Oh yeah, 4 there means that can't be a 4. Now, 5, 4 and 9 is 18 plus 7 or 8 is 25 or 26. The other digit is 4 or 3 in one of these cells. And we've got a 3 and a 4 looking up at that one. So that is going to be the 3 or 4. This is going to be the 9. Those 2 basically have to add up to 11 now, one way or the other. Oh, that's a 4. Right, it's very straightforward. Pardon me for not reading the digits right. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 7, 6 are the remaining cells in the row. That clue is actually done now. That can't be 2 or 7. This can't be 2 or 6. That can't be 6. Now, can this be a 2? And I think the answer is no, because that would have to be an 8, and we've ruled that out. So that's not a 2. So now we've got a 1, 3 pair here. So that's a 7 and that's a 2. This makes that a 1 and that's a 7. So, oh yeah, okay, we're going to find out in a moment. Can this be a 3? I'm guessing the answer is going to be no, but let's try and figure it out. Those 3 would have to add up to 10. 3, 1, 3, 1, 6. No, because that can't be a 5. So that's not a 3. That's a 1. The hideous self-referential. This is a 3, and this is the useful something else referential clue. So those 2 add up to 7 to make the total to 10. I think that'll fulfill our last X-digit sum clue. Can't be 3, 4, can't be 6, 1. It must be 5, 2. They are done. Colour in my last clue. And now I'm just doing Sudoku to finish off, hopefully. Oh no, I've got these cages still to go. I forgot them. Lurking in the reeds. but I can get quite a lot of top and bottom done. That's the top 3 rows completely done. 4 9 pair there, 1 7 pair there. That's a 9 now. So these are 2 3 pair at the top. So this is a 1 5 8 triple. We can take out 5 and 8. That's a 7 6 pair. That's 4 or 9. These are from 2 3 4 or 9. So that's fully pencil marked. Now I am going to have to think about this cage. All right, it's got a 3 in it in one of those 2 cells. And it's going to add up to one of these totals we've been working with throughout. So they are 1, 10, 11. Probably won't get above that. It won't get to 20 anything. So this cage adds up to 10 or 11. And it's got a 3 in it. And either a 6 or a 7. So this can't be 5. I think it could be 3 6 1. Or 3 7 1 or 3 6 2, I think. Oh look, there's a 4 9 pair, so that's not 4 or 9. Oh, maybe I can do this with Sudoku. This isn't 2 or 5, actually. That is a 1. Oh, well that's going to resolve my cage. It must be 3 6 2 now to make 11. 3 7 2 would make 12, which has a digit sum of 3, which would break the rule. So that's 5. This can't be 3. Oh no, that can't be 3. That's even more helpful. Oh, we're getting down to very few possibilities here. There's probably more to go. Yes, 7 and 6, 8 and 1. We might actually finish here. Although, what would be the point of the final cage then? Oh no, look, deadly pattern of 4s and 9s that's going to be resolved here. So we get to add up this final cage. 8 and 2 is 10. 7 and 3 is another 10. That's 20. Plus that is 25. Plus 4 would be 29 with a digit sum of 11, which works. Plus 9 would be 34 with a digit sum of 7, which doesn't. So that's a 4. And that finishes the puzzle. And a very elegant puzzle that is too, Christian. Thank you very much for sending that. Really interesting. Definitely a different dimension of X sums to get your head around the digit sums. And yeah, I think it helped to do the work at the beginning, but I had to then remember what the sums were, which was taxing my poor old brain a little bit. But very pleased to get through that. I found that most entertaining. Hope you did too, and I will hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.